Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like a stranger? Have you found it easier to forgive others, but impossible to forgive yourself? Why is it that we speak kindly to friends, but harshly to our own hearts? Imagine this. Someone spills tea on the floor. If it's your friend, you smile and say, "It's okay." But if it's you, your mind screams, "How careless." Why do we treat ourselves like enemies? We live in a world that praises achievement and performance. But when the noise fades and we're alone, a quiet voice often whispers, "You're not good enough." That voice grows stronger when we compare ourselves, judge ourselves, and forget the truth. We are worthy, even with our flaws. That truth is not found in books or compliments. It's found in awareness. It's found in stillness. And it's found in the teachings of the Buddha. Welcome to Wisdom Woven, a channel where ancient Buddhist wisdom meets daily life. This is the beginning of a special 12-part journey to help you learn how to truly love yourself, not in a loud or proud way, but in a quiet, deep, and lasting way. There are so many views on this channel, but only 0.2% subscribe. So please, if you feel even a small connection to this message, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Wisdom Woven today. Your support means more than you know. The Buddha taught that suffering begins with misunderstanding. We misunderstand ourselves. We think we're broken, unworthy, or too far gone. But just like the lotus that blooms in muddy water, your true nature can rise above the pain and confusion. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to see yourself. This journey isn't about changing who you are. It's about remembering who you've always been beneath the fear, shame, and doubt. Through gentle awareness, compassion, and the guidance of the Dharma, you will uncover a love that doesn't depend on success, beauty, or praise. It simply is. Stay with this series. Each part will give you a new light to hold in your heart. The path is already here. Just begin, seeing clearly, understanding the roots of self-hatred. Listen carefully, dear friend. Many times, we carry a heavy burden inside us without even knowing how it came to be. This burden is not a stone or a sack we can see. It is the weight of self-hatred. But why do we hate ourselves? How does such a feeling grow inside a heart that naturally longs for peace? Long ago, before the mind was clouded with thoughts, we all began life pure and simple. Yet, through the years, many things influenced us, words spoken by others, painful experiences, and our own mistakes. Like drops of rain on a window, these moments blurred the clear glass of our heart. We forgot how to see ourselves as we truly are. Self-hatred often begins as a small seed planted by fear. Fear that we are not enough. Fear that we might fail. Fear that we will be rejected. These fears whisper lies, telling us that we must be perfect, strong, or popular to be worthy. But these are only shadows, illusions created by the mind. Imagine a child learning to walk. Each time the child falls, a gentle hand lifts them up with kindness. But what if that hand instead pushes the child down, saying, "You are clumsy. You will never walk well"? Over time, the child might believe this harsh voice and stop trying. In the same way, when we criticize ourselves sharply, we stop believing in our own worth. The Buddha taught us about the nature of suffering. He said that suffering arises from craving and ignorance. In this case, ignorance means not seeing ourselves clearly. When we don't see ourselves clearly, we mistake our mistakes for our whole being. We forget that making mistakes is part of being human. Look deeply now. When you feel unworthy, ask yourself, is this feeling true, or is it a cloud passing over the sun? Often, these feelings are like passing clouds, not the true sky. The sky is vast and open, just like your heart. Self-hatred is also like carrying a heavy stone in your pocket every day. It weighs you down and makes it hard to move forward. But here's the truth. You can put that stone down. It is not yours to carry forever. Why do we cling to self-hatred? Sometimes it feels familiar, even comfortable. It may have protected us from disappointment by lowering our expectations, or it may have connected us to others through shared pain. But this path leads only to more suffering. To love yourself, you must first understand the roots of your self-hatred. Like a gardener who carefully pulls weeds from the soil, you must gently uncover where these feelings started. Was it harsh words from a parent? A failure you blame yourself for? Or a moment when you felt unseen and unheard? When you find these roots, do not cut them out angrily. Instead, water them with kindness and patience. Understand that those parts of you were trying to protect you, even if their way was painful. You see, loving yourself is not about ignoring your faults or pretending they do not exist. It is about seeing them clearly without judgment. When you watch your mind with kindness, the sharp edges of self-hatred begin to soften. Practice this now. Sit quietly and watch your thoughts as if they were leaves floating down a stream. Some thoughts may say, "You are not good enough." Notice them, but do not hold on. Let them float by. Behind these passing thoughts, there is a stillness, a space where true love can grow. Remember, your worth is not measured by your achievements or failures. It is your birthright, like the sun that shines whether or not we see it. When clouds hide the sun, it still burns bright above. Many people ask, how do I stop hating myself? The answer is not quick or easy. It takes time, like growing a tree from a seed. But every small act of kindness toward yourself waters that seed. You can start with simple words, "I am enough." Say it softly when the mind tries to tell you otherwise. Let it become a gentle mantra that reminds you of your true nature. The Buddha also taught about compassion, not only for others, but for ourselves. When you feel pain or failure, wrap yourself in compassion like a warm blanket. Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend in sorrow. Do not be afraid of your feelings, even the painful ones. They are part of your journey, not a sign that you are broken. By embracing all parts of yourself, you begin to heal. This is the path of awakening, seeing yourself without the veil of self-hatred, discovering the peace that has always been inside you. Keep walking this path gently. The more you understand your self-hatred, the more it loses its power, and in its place, a quiet love begins to grow. The heart that once felt heavy becomes light. The mind that once doubted learns to trust, and the spirit that once hid begins to shine. You are not alone on this journey. All beings seek love and peace within. By understanding yourself, you join the millions who walk the path of awakening. Every moment is a new beginning. Even now, you can choose to see yourself with fresh eyes, free from judgment. Remember, the first step to loving yourself is simply to look, really look, and understand. This understanding is the seed from which love grows. Nourish it daily with kindness, patience, and mindfulness. In time, you will find that loving yourself is not an act of selfishness, but the root of all true happiness. As the Zen Master, I say to you, the journey inward is the greatest journey you will ever take. Walk it with an open heart. No need to rush. No need to force. Just be present with yourself as you are. Love is already here. You only need to recognize it. The mirror of mindfulness. How to witness without judgment. Listen carefully, dear friend. There is a mirror within you, deeper than the glass you see on the wall. This mirror is your mind, clear, open, and waiting to reflect the truth. But often, this mirror is covered with dust. The dust of judgment, anger, fear, and confusion clouds your view. What if you could wipe away the dust? What if you could see yourself exactly as you are, without fear, without blame, without hiding? This is the way of mindfulness. Mindfulness means paying attention, not just to what happens outside, but to what happens inside. When a feeling arises, whether it is sadness, joy, anger, or fear, mindfulness asks you to look at that feeling, not to run away from it, not to grab onto it and make it bigger, simply to see it clearly, like watching clouds float across the sky. The clouds come and go, but the sky remains wide and open. Many people believe that to love themselves, they must change or fix something first. But in Buddhism, we learn that love begins with understanding. To understand, we must first see clearly. And to see clearly, we practice mindfulness. Imagine sitting quietly. Your mind is busy, thoughts rush in like a noisy river. One moment you remember something that made you sad. The next moment, a fear about the future pulls your heart tight. Your mind judges you harshly. Why are you so weak? Why can't you be better? But what if, instead of judging, you became the watcher? The silent observer who notices these thoughts and feelings without fighting them or joining them. When you watch with kindness and patience, your mind slowly learns to relax. The river of thoughts slows to a gentle stream. This is not easy at first. The mind resists. It wants to run, to hide, or to blame. But with practice, something beautiful happens. The mind sees these feelings and thoughts are not who you are. They're like passing weather, sometimes cloudy, sometimes bright. You are the sky, vast, still, unchanging beneath the storms. When you look in the mirror of mindfulness, you see all parts of yourself, the happy and the sad, the calm and the angry, the kind and the fearful. And you do not push any part away. You do not say, I am bad because I feel this. Instead, you simply see, this feeling is here. This simple act of seeing without judgment is powerful. It begins to soften the harsh voice inside your head that says you are not enough. Because that voice is only loud when you fight your feelings or try to hide them. When you stop the fight, the voice loses its power. The Buddha taught that suffering arises when we cling to ideas about ourselves, good or bad. When we believe these ideas too strongly, we forget our true nature. Mindfulness helps us release these clinging thoughts. It shows us that we are not our story, not our mistakes, not our fears. We are something deeper. Practicing mindfulness means returning again and again to the present moment. When you feel anger rising, pause and breathe. When sadness fills your heart, sit quietly and watch it. When joy appears, welcome it fully. Each moment of mindfulness is a step toward loving yourself more deeply. Because to love yourself means to be present with yourself, without pushing away what is difficult, without clinging to what feels good. The path of mindfulness is like planting a seed. At first, you may not see much change. But with patience, the seed grows roots, then shoots, then flowers. Your heart opens gently. You may wonder, how do I begin? Start small. Take one moment in your day to pause. Close your eyes if you wish. Notice your breath as it comes in and goes out. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Listen to the sounds around you. Then, turn your attention inward. Notice how you feel right now. Is there tension? A tightness in the chest? A restless thought? Don't try to fix it. Simply say to yourself, I see you. If your mind wanders, that is okay. Gently bring it back to your breath or your body. This is the practice. Not to be perfect, but to be present. Over time, your inner mirror becomes clearer. You see yourself without the blur of judgment. You see your true nature with kindness and honesty. This clarity is the foundation of self-love. Not the loud, flashy kind, but the quiet, steady love that holds you gently through all of life's ups and downs. Remember, mindfulness is not escaping life. It is stepping fully into life, all of it, with open eyes and a tender heart. When you practice this, you become your own friend. You stop fighting yourself. You learn to listen deeply. You become a safe place for your own heart to rest. There will be days when the mind is restless and the heart feels heavy. That is natural. Mindfulness does not mean you will never feel pain. It means you will not be lost in pain. You will learn to hold pain with softness, to welcome it, to understand it, and to let it pass like a wave on the ocean. With mindfulness, you begin to see that you're always enough, exactly as you are right now. The world outside may change, and people may come and go, but the clear mirror of your mind remains, reflecting truth without distortion. Let this mirror be your guide. Let it help you recognize your own beauty, your own worth. This is the way to love yourself, not by changing who you are, but by seeing who you truly are. You are not your mistakes. You are not your fears. You are the sky, vast, open, and free. Keep practicing this seeing, this watching, this presence. It is the heart of mindfulness and the heart of love. When you learn to witness yourself without judgment, you take a great step on the path to peace. Peace with yourself is the greatest gift you can give. The Buddha's teachings show us the way, gentle, patient, and wise. Walk this path slowly. Walk it with kindness. Your heart will thank you. And in this quiet knowing, you will discover something wonderful. That love was inside you all along. The power of loving kindness. Cultivating metta toward yourself. In the quiet moments of your day, when no one else is watching, how do you speak to yourself? Do you offer kindness or do you offer criticism? This question is important because the words we use within our minds shape the way we live and feel. Loving kindness, or metta in the language of the Buddha, is the gentle art of sending goodwill and warmth, not to others only, but first to oneself. Many people think it is selfish or strange to be kind to themselves. Why should I, they ask. I have so many faults. I have made mistakes. I don't deserve kindness. This thinking is like holding a small plant under a heavy stone. Without sunlight or water, it cannot grow. Your heart is like that plant. It needs loving kindness to bloom. The Buddha taught metta as one of the 4 sublime states. Loving kindness is not a fleeting feeling, but a deep, steady wish that all beings, including yourself, find happiness and peace. When we practice metta, we start by gently saying to ourselves, "May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease." These simple words carry a powerful healing energy. Why is metta so important for self-love? Because often, the hardest person to love is the one we see in the mirror every day, ourselves. We judge, we blame, we push ourselves to be better. But pushing only causes suffering. Loving kindness invites softness. It invites acceptance. It reminds us that we are human and perfectly imperfect. To cultivate metta, the practice begins with breathing. Find a quiet place. Close your eyes if you wish. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the air enter your body and fill you with calm. As you breathe out, imagine sending kindness to your heart. Repeat softly in your mind, "May I be kind to myself." Let this phrase sink deeply inside. You might feel resistance at first. This is natural. The mind can be stubborn. It may say, "I don't believe this," or "I don't deserve this." Notice these thoughts without fighting them. Acknowledge them as clouds passing through the clear sky. Then gently return to your phrase, "May I be kind to myself." Practicing metta is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. It is about recognizing pain and holding it with kindness. Imagine you have a wound. Would you pour salt into it? Of course not. You would clean it gently and cover it with care. Your emotional wounds need the same attention. Loving kindness is the gentle salve. As you grow in this practice, you will notice your heart soften toward yourself. You will find moments when harsh self-talk turns into gentle whispers. This shift creates space for healing and self-understanding. Loving kindness bridges the gap between who you are and who you wish to be. It transforms judgment into compassion. The beauty of metta is that it is unlimited. Once you have learned to send loving kindness to yourself, you can extend it to others. Imagine sending wishes of happiness and peace not just to your friends, but to strangers, to people you find difficult, even to those you have hurt. This expansive love nourishes the world. But the foundation always begins within. Without self-love, our kindness to others becomes fragile, sometimes forced. When you nurture yourself with metta, your kindness flows naturally. It is like a spring that never dries up. You become a well of warmth for yourself and for all beings. Remember, metta is a practice, not a goal. It grows slowly, like a seed planted in rich soil. Some days you may feel it deeply. Other days it may seem far away. Be patient. Each breath you take with loving kindness strengthens the roots of your heart. In daily life, small moments offer chances to practice metta. When you wake up, greet yourself with kindness. When you make a mistake, treat yourself as a dear friend would. When difficult emotions arise, hold them with gentle care instead of pushing them away. These small acts build a lifetime of love. The Buddha said that even a moment of true loving kindness can plant a seed that grows beyond imagination. Your heart has this power. It can transform fear into courage, anger into patience, and loneliness into connection. You may wonder, how can I keep this practice alive when life is so busy, so full of challenges? The answer is found in simplicity. Loving kindness does not require hours of meditation. It needs your attention and intention. A few breaths in the morning, a kind word in the afternoon, a soft thought before sleep. These are the threads that weave a strong fabric of self-love. If your mind wanders to judgment or self-doubt, return gently to your metaphrases. Imagine you are watering a garden. Sometimes the wind scatters the water, but you keep trying. This persistence is not failure. It is the path of growth. Loving kindness is a radical act. In a world that teaches competition and comparison, choosing kindness for yourself is revolutionary. It creates a quiet power that cannot be taken away. It frees you from the chains of self-hate and opens the door to true peace. As you continue to cultivate metta, notice how your relationships change. When you are kind to yourself, you naturally treat others with more patience and love. This creates harmony in your world, reflecting the peace you build inside. Do not rush this process. The Zen way teaches us to walk slowly and with awareness. Each step taken with loving kindness is a step toward freedom. Trust in this process. Trust in your heart's capacity to heal and to love. When you find moments of doubt, remember the lotus flower. It rises from the mud, but blooms beautifully. Your heart can do the same. Metta is the water and sunlight that nourishes this bloom. In your practice, be curious. Explore what loving kindness feels like in your body. Does it warm your chest? Does it soften your shoulders? Let these sensations guide you deeper. Sometimes, you may want to send metta to parts of yourself you dislike most. This can be difficult, but it is also the most powerful step. Imagine embracing your fears, your mistakes, your pain with an open heart. This embrace transforms suffering into strength. The Buddha's teaching on metta is a gift to you. It is not just for monks or saints. It is for everyone who breathes and feels. Loving kindness is a natural quality of your mind waiting to be awakened. Practice now, and you will see the difference not just in your feelings, but in your whole life. The mind becomes calmer, the heart lighter, and the spirit freer. This is the true power of loving kindness. As the Zen Master, I invite you to sit quietly and offer this gift to yourself now. Repeat softly in your mind, "May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease." Let these words echo gently. Feel the love that is already within you, waiting patiently to be recognized. This is the beginning of learning to love yourself truly, deeply, and forever. Listen closely, dear one. The past is a heavy chain, but it is not your true self. Many walk the earth burdened by memories, regrets, and wounds that seem impossible to heal. Yet, what is this weight if not the story you keep telling yourself? The story that says you are hurt, that others have wronged you, that you must carry pain as your constant companion. This is suffering, but suffering is not the nature of your heart. Imagine you carry a heavy sack every day. It grows heavier and heavier, and you wonder why your back aches. The sack is filled with past hurts and anger. Now, what if I tell you that sack was never meant for you to carry forever? Forgiveness is the key to set down the sack. It is not about forgetting or excusing what has happened. No, forgiveness is about freeing yourself. When you hold on tightly to the past, you build walls around your heart. You trap yourself in a cage of bitterness and pain. But what is outside those walls? Peace, joy, love, freedom. The moment you begin to forgive, first yourself, then others, those walls start to crumble. It is as if the sun melts the ice of winter, bringing warmth and light to a frozen land. You might ask, Zen Master, how can I forgive when I am still hurting? This is a wise question. Forgiveness is not about pretending the hurt does not exist. It is about seeing the hurt clearly, without the storm of anger or sadness. It is to acknowledge your pain with gentle kindness, like you would care for a wounded child. Think of forgiveness like a river flowing through your heart. At first, The water may be murky with grief and anger, but with patience, the water clears. The river flows freely again, carrying away the debris. When the river flows, your heart can breathe. Sometimes, the hardest person to forgive is yourself. We make mistakes, we fall, and then we blame ourselves endlessly. But remember, even the Buddha was once a man who learned through suffering and errors. Self-forgiveness is an act of courage. It says, I am human. I am learning. I am worthy of kindness. It does not mean ignoring your faults. It means accepting them without hatred. When you forgive yourself, a deep healing begins. The chains of guilt and shame loosen their grip. You can move forward without the weight of yesterday holding you back. And when you forgive yourself, forgiving others becomes lighter, too. Because in the end, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. The Buddha taught the Four Noble Truths. Suffering exists, suffering has a cause, suffering can cease, and there is a path to the end of suffering. Forgiveness is part of that path. It opens the door to the cessation of pain caused by grudges and resentment. It softens the heart, allowing compassion to grow. Do not think forgiveness is weakness. It is one of the greatest strengths. It requires humility and patience. It means you choose peace over conflict, freedom over bondage. It means you trust life enough to release old wounds and walk with a lighter step. If you struggle with forgiveness, begin small. Forgive the small irritations, the little mistakes, the everyday moments when you or others fall short. Practice loving-kindness meditation. Send warmth and good wishes to yourself and those who hurt you. Let your heart soften with each breath. Know that forgiveness is a process, not a single act. Some days will be easier than others. Some wounds may take longer to heal. Be gentle with yourself along the way. There is no rush, no failure, only steady unfolding. And here is the deepest truth. When you forgive, you do not only heal yourself, you help heal the world. Each act of forgiveness sends ripples of peace outward, touching lives you may never know. The world needs your forgiveness just as much as you need it for yourself. So, unshackle your heart from the past. Let go of anger, guilt, and blame. Embrace forgiveness as your path to freedom. Step by step, breath by breath, you will find a peace so deep that nothing can disturb it. Remember, the journey to self-love passes through forgiveness. Without forgiveness, the heart remains closed. But with forgiveness, it opens wide like a lotus flower blooming in the sun. Walk this path with courage and compassion. Your true self is waiting, free and radiant. Forgive and be free. Listen carefully, my friend. In the quiet of your heart, you may feel burdened by the many names and roles you carry. You are a mother, a father, a student, a worker, a friend, a failure, a success, a stranger. These labels cling to you like leaves stuck to your clothes after a long walk in the forest. But ask yourself, who are you beneath these names? What remains when all the labels fall away? Most people believe that who they are is found in these names. I am shy. I am angry. I'm not enough. I am this or that. But these are not you. These are only stories you tell yourself and others. Like shadows on a wall, these labels move and change. They come and go. But the true self, the one that watches the shadows, remains still and clear. The Buddha taught that clinging to a fixed identity causes suffering. When you think, I am this way, you limit your freedom. You trap yourself inside a cage made of your own thoughts. The mind becomes a prison when it believes in the solidity of these labels. But the truth is that all things, including yourself, are always changing. Nothing is permanent. Nothing is fixed. You might wonder, if I let go of my identity, will I disappear? Will I lose myself? This fear is natural. The ego wants to protect itself. But in reality, letting go of labels frees you. It opens the door to peace and joy. When you no longer hold tightly to who you think you are, you begin to live more freely. You stop struggling to be someone you are not and start accepting the flow of life. Imagine a river. The The water flows and changes every moment. It never stays the same. Yet, we still call it a river. The river does not say, I am this water, or I am that water. It simply flows. So it is with your true self. It is always moving, always becoming, never fixed. When you understand this, you see that your true self is not limited to your thoughts, feelings, or roles. It is the awareness behind them all. This awareness is like the sky, vast, open, and free. The clouds of labels may come and go, but the sky remains unchanged. Letting go of labels is not about rejecting parts of yourself. It is about seeing them clearly without adding judgment. When you say, I am angry, it is easy to suffer because anger feels like a heavy chain. But when you say, there is anger, with kindness and distance, the chain loosens. You become the sky watching the cloud of anger, not the cloud itself. This practice takes time and patience. The mind will try to hold on. It will say, but this is who I am. The Zen Master says, listen gently but firmly to the mind. Thank it for its care, then return your attention to the open space within. This space is your true home. In daily life, you will meet many people who will try to put you in a box. You are this, they say, or you should be that. But remember, their words are just echoes of their own views. They do not define you. Only you can decide what to accept and what to let go. When you stop identifying too strongly with any label, you will notice a great lightness inside. You begin to smile more easily, not because problems disappear, but because your relationship to them changes. You're no longer a prisoner of your stories. This freedom helps you love yourself more deeply. You see yourself not as a fixed thing to be judged or fixed, but as a flowing river, as vast as the sky, as natural as the breath you take. Loving yourself becomes simple because it is no longer tangled with expectations or fears. You might ask, how do I begin to let go of my labels? The answer lies in mindful observation. When a thought or feeling arises, I am sad, I am lonely, I am weak, pause. Watch it as if you are watching leaves floating on a pond. Notice the thought without pushing it away or grabbing onto it. Practice this daily. With time, you will see that these thoughts come and go like waves. They do not define the ocean. Similarly, you are more than any single feeling or thought. The Buddhist teaching of anatta means no self. This is not a scary idea of emptiness, but a freeing idea of release. It says that what we call self is just a collection of changing parts. None of these parts alone is the whole you. When you understand this, you begin to treat yourself with more kindness. You see that pain and joy are both temporary visitors. Neither lasts forever. You learn to rest in the stillness beyond these changes. Letting go of labels also opens your heart to others. When you stop clinging to who you are, you stop needing others to fit your expectations. You begin to accept people as they are, and in doing so, you deepen your own compassion. The Zen Master invites you to sit quietly now and simply be. No names, no stories, just breath and presence. Feel the gentle rising and falling of your breath. Notice the vastness inside you that no label can touch. You are not your anger, not your fear, not your sadness. You are the space in which all these come and go. You are the stillness beyond the storm. This knowing does not come all at once. It grows like a seed planted deep in the earth. Water it daily with patience and gentle curiosity. Let it grow without rushing. Soon, you will find yourself walking lighter. You will no longer be burdened by the weight of expectations, nor haunted by the ghosts of past mistakes. You will be free to simply be. This freedom is your birthright. It has always been with you, waiting patiently. Now is the time to awaken to it. Remember, the river flows without effort. So can you. The sky holds the clouds without judgment. So can you hold your thoughts and feelings. You are not alone on this path. The Buddha walked it before you. Countless others walk it beside you now. Trust in the process. Love yourself enough to let go. Let go not to lose, but to gain everything. And in that gain, find the true peace that cannot be shaken by labels or stories. This is the heart of your journey, my friend. This is the way beyond suffering. Be gentle with yourself. Be patient. And above all, be present. You are not your labels. You are the space in which all things appear and disappear. Come back to this truth again and again. It is the door to your freedom. Breathe. Smile. Be. Dear one, listen well. The path of loving yourself is not a straight road, paved with pride or crushed by shame. It is the middle way, the quiet balance between two extremes. Too much ego makes the heart heavy with arrogance. Too much shame makes it heavy with pain. Neither can bring peace. Imagine a tightrope stretched high above a deep valley. If you lean too far to one side, you will fall. The same is true with how you see yourself. If you lean into pride, you forget your true nature. If you lean into shame, you lose your worth. But if you find balance, if you walk steadily, then you can move forward gently, step by step. Many suffer because they either build a wall of self-importance or dig a hole of self-disgust. In both, they feel alone. The wall separates them from others and from their own true self. The hole traps them in darkness, where they believe they are not good enough. Neither wall nor hole can hold the truth. The Buddha taught us the middle way. This means not clinging tightly to who you think you are, nor rejecting yourself because of mistakes or flaws. It means opening your hands and your heart without grasping or pushing away. Like the river flows naturally between its banks, so can your mind flow between pride and shame. You may ask, Zen Master, how can I walk this middle way when I feel so pulled to one side? Begin by simply noticing. When your mind tells you, I am better than others, pause. When it whispers, I am worthless, pause again. Watch these thoughts like clouds drifting in the sky. Do not catch them. Do not fight them. Let them pass. When pride arises, ask, where does this come from? Is it a shield for fear? When shame arises, ask, is this truth or story? Sometimes pride covers deep loneliness, and shame hides pain we have not yet healed. Be curious, not judgmental. Remember, you're not your thoughts or feelings. You are the awareness behind them, calm, steady, and clear. From this place of awareness, you can choose a gentle way to speak to yourself. When you feel pride, let it soften. When you feel shame, let it lighten. Neither needs to control you. Try this now. Place your hand gently on your chest. Feel the warmth. Say softly, I am enough. Not because you must prove it, but because it is true. This simple act plants a seed of balance inside your heart. The middle way also means embracing your imperfections. We often want to be perfect, but perfection is a mask that hides the true, beautiful self. When you accept your flaws, you free yourself from struggle. You do not have to fight who you are. There is great courage in acceptance. It is not giving up. It is saying, I see you, all of me, and I am willing to walk this path with kindness. This kindness is the soil where self-love grows. Each day, bring your attention to balance. When you notice pride swelling, breathe deeply and soften. When shame creeps in, breathe deeply and open your heart. You become your own gentle guide, learning to walk steadily on the tightrope of life. Do not rush. The middle way is patient. It asks you to be present with whatever arises, without pushing or pulling. Like the calm lake reflects the sky, your mind reflects your heart when it is balanced. Sometimes, others may try to pull you to extremes. They may praise you too much or criticize too harshly. Remember, their words are clouds passing by. Stay centered in your own awareness. It is okay to feel proud of your good deeds and kind actions. It is also okay to feel sad or imperfect. Both feelings are part of being human. The middle way welcomes all, without judgment. Practice this balance in daily life. When you succeed, celebrate quietly. When you fail, comfort yourself softly. Speak kindly as you would to a dear friend. The path of the middle way is a gentle dance. Sometimes you lean slightly to one side, sometimes the other. The key is to keep returning to balance again and again. With practice, you will find that your heart becomes lighter. You will no longer be burdened by the heavy chains of pride or shame. Instead, you will walk freely with compassion for yourself and others. This balance will guide you toward true self-love, a love that is steady, calm, and enduring. It is not loud or flashy. It does not demand or cling. It simply is. Remember the lotus flower that grows in mud, yet blossoms with perfect beauty. You too can grow through your struggles and bloom in the light of acceptance. The middle way teaches us that loving yourself is not about being perfect or faultless. It is about being real. It is about being kind to the parts of you that hurt and kind to the parts that shine. So, dear one, begin now. Notice where your heart leans. Bring it back to center with gentle breath and soft words. You are walking the middle way. You are learning to love yourself, not as an idea, but as a living, breathing truth. In this balance, you'll find peace. In this peace, you'll find freedom. In this freedom, you'll find love, the love that has been inside you all along. Breathing into the present. How awareness heals the heart. In the quiet moments, before any thought arises, there is breathing. Breathing is simple, natural, and always with us. It does not ask for anything. It just is. Yet, most people forget to breathe deeply. They rush, worry, and live far from this gentle rhythm. The breath is the bridge that connects our busy mind to the peaceful present. When the mind is restless and heavy with pain, breathing becomes a tool to come home to ourselves. Imagine a child afraid in the dark. When we hold their hand and speak softly, their fear lessens. Breath is like that hand. When you bring your attention to your breath, you hold your own heart gently. You tell yourself, it's okay. I am here. I am safe. Many suffer because their minds travel to the past or race toward the future. The past holds regrets and hurts. The future breeds worries and fears. But the present moment is the only place life truly exists. Breathing into this moment grounds us. It tells the mind to rest here, in this now, where healing can begin. The Buddha taught mindfulness as a way to be aware of each breath, each sensation, each thought, without chasing or pushing them away. When you watch your breath, you practice kindness toward your mind. You allow it to settle like a clear lake after a storm. The waves of pain become smaller. The reflection of your true self becomes visible again. When suffering arises, sadness, anger, loneliness, try returning to your breath. Feel the air entering your nose, filling your lungs, and leaving your body slowly. Notice the rise and fall of your belly. This simple act is a gift. It reminds you that no matter what emotions come and go, the breath remains steady, like a friend who never leaves. Healing is not always quick. Sometimes the heart feels heavy for a long time, but the breath is patient. It waits for you. It carries the power to calm the wild mind and soothe the restless heart. Through deep breathing, you create space around your feelings. You do not become trapped in them. Awareness of breath also helps you see how thoughts come and go. Thoughts are like clouds floating across the sky. You don't have to hold on to them. You can watch them pass. This watching is not judgment. It is gentle understanding. When you watch your mind like this, you begin to lose fear of your own thoughts. Loving yourself means accepting the whole experience of being human, the good and the difficult. And the breath is a reminder of this acceptance. It shows you how to be present even in pain, how to hold yourself with care when sadness visits. Try this. Sit quietly and breathe naturally. Place your hand on your belly. Feel it rise and fall. When thoughts come, gently bring your attention back to the breath. Do this without frustration. Each time you return to the breath, you practice loving attention. Over time, breathing with awareness trains the mind to be calm. It helps you face challenges with less fear and more courage. You learn to meet yourself with patience, not anger. The breath teaches you that no feeling lasts forever. Like the seasons, they change and move on. When you breathe into the present moment, you also become more aware of your body. Often, we live disconnected from how we feel inside. Pain or tension in the body tells us stories that words cannot. By breathing deeply, you listen to these stories. You show kindness to yourself by acknowledging them. The heart carries memories of hurt and joy alike. When you breathe with care, you allow these memories to surface gently, without being overwhelmed. You create a safe space within. In this space, healing begins naturally. Breathing mindfulness is not only for quiet moments. It is a practice to carry into daily life. When anger rises, pause and breathe. When sadness threatens to drown you, breathe and find your center. When joy sparkles in your heart, breathe and fully embrace it. In this way, the breath becomes a teacher, guiding you toward balance. You learn to live not in extremes of emotional storms or numbness, but in the gentle middle path where peace resides. Remember, the breath is always with you. No matter where you are, no matter what is happening, you can return to it. It is the simplest act, yet the most profound. The Zen way is not about forcing change. It is about opening your eyes to what already exists. Your breath, your life, yourself, all here, waiting to be loved. So, when life feels heavy, when your heart feels broken, come back to your breath. Let hold you tenderly. Let remind you that you are alive, you are here, and you are enough. This is the healing power of breathing into the present. It is the path to a gentle, loving heart. Your pain is not a punishment. The noble truths and self-compassion. Listen closely, dear one. There is a deep misunderstanding in the world. Many believe that pain is a punishment. When hardship comes, they say, I deserve this, or I have failed. But pain is not a punishment. It is a teacher, a messenger that calls us to awaken. If you think suffering is a curse, you miss the chance to learn from it. The Buddha showed us the path not by avoiding pain, but by understanding it. He taught the Four Noble Truths. First, life contains suffering. This is not to bring despair, but to awaken clarity. Suffering is real. You feel it in your heart, your body, your mind. This is part of the human condition. Second, suffering has a cause. This cause is craving, attachment, and ignorance. We suffer because we cling to things that change, our image, our feelings, our past. We suffer because we believe we are separate and alone. This is the root of pain. Third, suffering can end. Yes, it is possible to live free from the heavy weight of pain, not by avoiding, but by seeing clearly what causes it. To know that our suffering does not define us. There is peace beyond pain. Fourth, there is a path that leads to the end of suffering. This is the Noble Eightfold Path. It teaches us to live with wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. It is a practical guide to free the heart. Now, dear one, how do we meet our pain with love instead of judgment? How do we hold our brokenness without shame? This is where self-compassion grows. Self-compassion is the gentle hand that touches your own wound. It does not blame. It does not demand. It says, I see you. I am here. When pain arises, do not turn away. Do not say, I am weak. Instead, breathe. Feel the pain as it is. Notice its shape, its size, its temperature. Let be. You don't have to fix it right now. You don't have to escape it. Simply be with it like a kind friend sitting beside you. Remember this. Suffering is shared by all beings. You are not alone. Everyone has their own struggles, their own hidden battles. This connection can soften your heart. It reminds you to be tender with yourself as you would be with a loved one. The mind often judges pain, calling it bad or wrong. But pain is just pain. It is part of life's natural rhythm. Like the rain nourishing the earth, pain can nourish your growth if you allow it. Without darkness, how would you know the light? Sometimes, pain feels like a storm that will never end. But storms pass. The sky clears. When you feel overwhelmed, remember to come back to your breath. The breath is your anchor, your refuge. It is always with you, steady and calm. Practice kindness in your thoughts. When self-criticism arises, gently ask, is this true? Is this helpful? Replace harsh words with simple phrases. May I be safe. May I be peaceful. May I be free from suffering. These words hold power. They calm the mind and open the heart. Self-compassion also means forgiving yourself. Forgive the mistakes, the moments of weakness, the times you hurt yourself or others. Forgiveness is not forgetting or excusing. It is releasing the burden that weighs down your spirit. It is a gift you give yourself. Pain also teaches patience. Healing is not quick or easy. It requires time and presence. Be patient with yourself. Like a seed beneath the soil, growth happens slowly, unseen. Trust in the process. When you hold pain with compassion, transformation begins. The sharp edges soften. The heaviness lifts. You find a deep well of peace within, untouched by the storms outside. This peace is not a place to escape life. It is a strong foundation to stand on when challenges arise. With self-compassion, you build resilience. You learn to face life's difficulties with an open heart. Do not be afraid of your pain. It does not make you broken or unworthy. It makes you human. Embrace it as a wise teacher guiding you toward awakening. In the stillness, listen deeply. You will hear a voice beneath the pain, a voice that says, "I am enough." This is the truth of your being. This is the love you have been seeking. Keep walking gently on this path, each step with kindness, each breath with awareness. Let your heart soften. Let your pain be seen and held. In this space, healing begins. Know that the Buddha's wisdom is alive in you now. You carry the potential for great compassion for yourself and for all beings. So, whenever you feel lost or overwhelmed, return to this teaching. Your pain is not a punishment. It is a doorway to love. Walk through it with courage and kindness. The journey is your own, but you are never alone. Listen carefully, young friend. In this restless world, many chase after more wealth, more praise, more success. Like a thirsty traveler in the desert searching endlessly for water that never fills, this chasing only brings more thirst, more suffering. But the Buddha showed us another way, a quieter way, the way of contentment. Contentment means seeing enough clearly, not giving in to desire's endless hunger, but recognizing the fullness of what already is. When you understand contentment, you begin to love yourself without the need to prove or change. This is not laziness or giving up. It is wisdom. It is peace. Why is contentment so important? Because when you're not content, your mind is like a restless monkey, jumping from one thought to another, never still. This restless mind does not know love. It knows only craving and judgment. But when you find contentment, your mind softens. You see your life, yourself, not as lacking but as whole, even with imperfections. The Buddha taught that craving is the root of suffering. This craving is not only for things outside, but also for how we want ourselves to be. We want to be perfect, popular, strong, or successful. But this wanting pushes us away from the present moment and from self-acceptance. It hides the quiet voice inside that says, "You are enough." To practice contentment, begin with small steps. Look at your breath. Each breath is enough. It is complete. When you breathe in, you don't need more. When you breathe out, you don't need less. You're simply here alive, breathing. This simple truth is the first taste of contentment. Then look at your body, your mind, your feelings. Do not try to fix or change them right now. See them as they are, sometimes tired, sometimes joyful, sometimes sad. When you stop fighting what is, you allow space for kindness to grow. This kindness toward yourself is a quiet form of love. Contentment is not about ignoring pain or difficulty. It is about accepting what life gives with an open heart. When pain comes, you do not resist it with anger or frustration. Instead, you say, "I am here. This is part of my life. I am enough even in this moment." Many people believe that loving themselves means becoming better or perfect. But real love begins when you stop running from yourself. It begins when you sit down quietly and say, "I am enough just as I am." This acceptance brings peace that no achievement can match. The path of contentment is not easy in a world that shouts, "More, more, more." But the quieter voice of the Buddha calls, "Enough is enough." Enough means your heart can rest. Enough means your spirit can smile. Enough means you can be friends with yourself. Practice gratitude. Each day, find something small to be thankful for: a warm cup of tea, a gentle breeze, a kind word. Gratitude opens the door to contentment because it turns your mind away from what is missing and toward what is present. Remember, contentment does not mean stopping your growth or your dreams. It means planting your feet firmly in the now while reaching toward the future. Like a tree rooted deep in the earth, you can grow tall and strong because your foundation is steady. When you feel envy or jealousy, notice it without shame. These feelings show you where your heart is restless. Gently remind yourself, I am enough. I have enough. This is a practice, not a rule. Be patient with yourself. In meditation, watch how your mind chases thoughts and desires. Then gently bring it back to the present moment. This returning is an act of love. It says, I care enough to come home to myself. Contentment frees you from the trap of comparison. When you compare, you measure your worth by others. But when you're content, you know your value is not outside but inside. It does not depend on success or failure. The Buddha showed that suffering ends when craving ends. This craving is not only for things, but also for approval and perfection. Let go of these cravings, and you'll find a deep well of love inside. Your true nature is already whole. It does not need fixing. It only needs your attention and care. When you stop fighting yourself, you discover peace. Sometimes, life will test your contentment. Difficult moments will come, but these moments are like storms that pass. If your roots are strong in contentment, you will not be uprooted. Self-love through contentment is a gentle fire that warms your heart. It does not burn or consume. It heals and restores. Do not seek love only from others. Begin with yourself. See your worth clearly. Speak to yourself kindly. This is the beginning of true freedom. When you practice contentment, your mind grows calm. Your heart grows open. Your life becomes richer, not because you have more, but because you have peace. This peace is the greatest gift you can give yourself. It is the foundation for all other love. So, remember, dear one, you are enough. You have enough. Right now, in this moment, you are whole. Sit with this truth. Breathe with it. Let it fill your being. And in this filling, you will find the quiet, steady love that you have been seeking all along. Walking the Eightfold Path with yourself first. In this life, the path to love yourself begins with understanding the way you walk through the world. Many think of love as only for others, but true love begins quietly with yourself. The Buddha taught a path, not just any path, but a gentle, wise, and clear way to live. This is called the Eightfold Path. It is like a lamp in the darkness, helping you see who you truly are. Before you can love others deeply, you must learn to walk this path with your own heart. The Eightfold Path is not a rule book, but a way to bring peace, kindness, and wisdom into every step you take. Let us walk together through these 8 steps, slowly, simply. First is right view. This means seeing things as they really are, not as we wish or fear them to be. When you love yourself, you begin by seeing your own mind clearly. You see the patterns of thoughts that cause suffering, and you see the moments of peace that already live inside you. Right view helps you understand that everything changes and that you are not alone in your pain. When you accept this, you soften toward yourself. Next is right intention. This is about the wishes that guide your actions. To love yourself, you must choose kindness in your heart. You decide to let go of anger toward yourself, to stop blaming, and to hold a gentle wish for your happiness and growth. It's like planting a seed of love in the soil of your mind. This intention grows slowly but surely. The third step is right speech. This is not just how you speak to others, but also how you speak to yourself. Many times, your inner voice can be harsh and cruel. You might say, I'm not good enough, or I always fail. But right speech invites you to speak with honesty and gentleness. When you notice harsh thoughts, do not fight them. Simply say, I hear you, but I choose to speak kindly to myself. This is powerful. Words carry energy, and soft words heal wounds. Fourth is right action. To love yourself means to take care of your body and mind in ways that do not cause harm. This can be small things, like eating food that nourishes you, resting when you're tired, or avoiding habits that cause suffering. Right action encourages respect for your own well-being. When you act with love toward yourself, your whole being feels supported. Fifth comes right livelihood. This means choosing a way of living that does not harm others or yourself. If your work or daily life causes stress, fear, or shame, this is a sign to look deeply. Loving yourself means finding balance and harmony in how you live. It might not be easy to change your path, but even small steps toward honesty and integrity help your heart feel at peace. Sixth is right effort. Love is not a feeling you wait for. It is an action you practice every day. Right effort means trying to encourage good thoughts and let go of harmful ones. When sadness or self-doubt arise, you don't give up. Instead, you gently bring your mind back to care and kindness. Like a gardener watering plants, you nurture love in your heart with patient effort. Seventh, there's right mindfulness. This is the practice of being present, fully here with yourself. When you are mindful, you notice your feelings without judgment. If fear comes, you see it clearly. If joy arises, you embrace it fully. Mindfulness helps you understand that emotions are like clouds, sometimes dark, sometimes bright, but always passing. This awareness creates space for love to grow. Finally, the eighth step is right concentration. This is learning to focus your mind deeply, like a calm lake reflecting the sky. When your mind is still, you can see yourself with greater clarity. Concentration helps you find peace beyond thoughts, beyond fears. It is in this quiet space that you meet your true self, a self worthy of love simply because it exists. The Eightfold Path is not a race or a test. It is a gentle way, a guide to live with more wisdom and compassion. As you walk it with yourself first, you begin to see that self-love is not selfish. It is the root from which all other love grows. When your heart is full and kind to yourself, it can reach out to others with even greater warmth. Remember, this path is always with you. Even when you stumble, you can return to the steps again and again. Each moment is a chance to start anew. There is no perfect self to find, only the self that is here and now, breathing, learning, and growing. Do not rush. Be patient. Love yourself as the Buddha loved all beings, with a heart open, wide, and free. The Eightfold Path is the road to this love. Walk it gently, step by step, becoming your own teacher. Final words on self-love from a Buddhist lens. Listen carefully, my dear friend. You have walked a long path. You have learned many things. Now, the final step is simple, yet deep. It is to become your own teacher. Not someone outside, not a book or a master far away, but yourself. You are the one who holds the key to your heart. You are the one who can give yourself the love you have been searching for. In life, many people look outside for answers. They search in other people's words, in things, in praise, or in approval. But this search often leads to confusion and pain. Why? Because the true answer is inside. You already have it. You're already complete. The love you seek is not something to find. It is something to remember who you truly are. There is a story I often tell to those who come to me in confusion. It is about a man who looked for water everywhere. He traveled far and wide, climbed mountains, crossed deserts, yet thirst remained. One day, he realized the water he sought was inside a small spring near his own home. So, he stopped wandering and simply drank from the spring he had overlooked. Your heart is like that spring. It has always been full of love, kindness, and peace. But the dust of fear, doubt, and sadness covers it. Through your practice, through awareness, you learn to clear this dust. You learn to look inward with kindness. You learn to embrace yourself exactly as you are. Remember, love is not a prize to win. It is not a condition to meet. Love is your true nature. It flows naturally when you stop pushing and start accepting. Acceptance does not mean giving up or being weak. It means seeing clearly without judgment. It means understanding your pain, your mistakes, your fears, and saying, I am here with you. I will not leave you. When you become your own teacher, you treat yourself as you would treat your closest friend, with patience, care, and respect. You listen to your thoughts, but you do not believe every harsh word. You watch your feelings, but you do not let them control you. You sit quietly with yourself and say, I am enough. This teaching comes from the Buddha's path. The Buddha taught the Eightfold Path, a guide to live wisely and kindly. Among these teachings, right mindfulness and right effort are your tools to nurture self-love. Mindfulness means being present with yourself without running away. Effort means gently choosing to be kind to yourself every day, no matter what. Many times, you will stumble. You will feel weak or lost. This is natural. The path is not a straight line. It curves, it bends, it sometimes disappears behind fog. But know this, each step, even the hardest, brings you closer to love. Each moment you choose kindness, you water the seed within your heart. Self-love is like a garden. You cannot force flowers to bloom, but you can prepare the soil with care. You can water it with patience. You can remove the weeds of self-doubt. Slowly, the garden grows. Slowly, you will see beauty in yourself. Not because someone else tells you, but because you see it with your own eyes. Do not fear being alone on this journey. Being with yourself is the most precious relationship you will ever have. When you learn to be fully present with your own heart, you discover peace that no one can take away. You discover joy that is not based on outside things. You discover a quiet happiness that shines from within. When sadness or anger arise, do not push them away. Welcome them as teachers. Ask, what are you showing me? Often, these feelings are clouds that pass, revealing the sun of your true self. Do not fight them. Watch them come and go. This practice is the art of loving yourself fully. In your practice, remember the words of the Buddha. You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. These words are not just beautiful, they are true. You deserve kindness, simply because you exist. Let go of the need to be perfect. Perfection is an illusion. We all have flaws, and that is what makes us human. Loving yourself means embracing your whole being, light and shadow together. When you accept yourself completely, you open the door to genuine peace. So, take a deep breath now. Feel the air fill your body. Feel the steady beat of your heart. This is your life. This is your chance. You do not need to wait for someone to tell you that you are worthy. You already are. Begin today to speak gently to yourself. Begin today to treat yourself with respect. Begin today to be your own teacher, your own friend, your own guide. The path may be long, but every step taken with love brings freedom. Remember, the journey to self-love is not selfish. It is the foundation for loving others. When your heart is full, you give freely and truly. When you are kind to yourself, your kindness flows to the world. Thank you for walking this path with me. Thank you for opening your heart. Keep practicing. Keep loving. Keep shining your light. You are enough. Always have been. Always will be. Dear friend, come close and listen quietly. This is the final part of our journey together, a moment both gentle and deep. The path we have walked is not a race, but a slow unfolding of truth. The lessons you have heard are not just words. They are seeds planted in the garden of your heart. Like all gardens, they need care and patience to grow. Remember, the first lesson we spoke of was impermanence. Everything changes. This is the nature of life. When you understand this deeply, you stop clinging so tightly to what cannot last. Imagine holding water in your hands. If you squeeze too hard, the water slips away. But if you hold it gently, you can enjoy its coolness for a moment, then let it flow naturally. Life asks us to hold lightly, to welcome change as a friend, not as a threat. Next came suffering, or dukkha, as the Buddha called it. We all know this feeling. Sometimes it is pain. Sometimes it is dissatisfaction. But suffering is also a teacher. It shows us where we are holding too tightly, where our expectations do not meet reality. When we face suffering with open eyes and a calm heart, we begin to see its nature, that it is not permanent, that it arises and passes away like clouds in the sky. The lesson of non-self is perhaps the most freeing. We often think, I am this person, this name, this story. But the truth is we are not fixed. We're like rivers, always flowing, always changing. When you realize this, you no longer feel trapped by your worries or your past. You become free to be who you truly are in each moment. Mindfulness, the fourth lesson, is the path itself. It is the art of being present, fully here, fully awake. When you breathe deeply and notice the sensations of your body, the sounds around you, your thoughts and feelings without judgment, you touch peace. This moment, just as it is, holds everything you need. Mindfulness is your anchor in the ever-changing sea of life. Compassion, the final lesson, is the heart of the Buddhist teaching. True compassion starts with yourself. When you learn to be kind and gentle with your own mind, you naturally extend that kindness to others. Compassion opens the door to connection, to understanding, and to healing. It is the light that guides you through darkness. But, dear friend, learning these lessons is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice. Like the rising sun that comes every morning without fail, your practice, too, must be steady and patient. Some days will be easy, others will be hard. Do not be discouraged. Even the smallest step on the path is precious. Now, let us look deeper at what stands in our way. Often, we carry heavy burdens, fear, anger, doubt. These clouds may cover the sky of your mind. But remember, clouds always pass. They do not last. When these feelings arise, greet them with curiosity rather than resistance. Watch them, breathe through them, and they will soften. Also, do not seek perfection. The path is not about becoming someone else or achieving some goal. It is about being fully who you are, with all your imperfections and strengths. Buddha himself was not a god or a perfect being. He was a human who saw clearly and walked gently. Stories of others who have walked this path can inspire you, but your journey is your own. Trust your experience. Trust the quiet wisdom inside you. It may speak softly, but it is always there. Integrate these lessons into your daily life in small ways. When you feel rushed, pause and take a mindful breath. When you feel lonely, reach out with compassion, even if only in your thoughts. When change frightens you, remember impermanence and allow yourself to flow. And when you stumble, as we all do, do not judge yourself harshly. The path is not straight. It curves, it rises and falls. What matters is your willingness to continue walking. You are not alone on this journey. The Buddha's teachings have traveled through time to reach you here, now. Countless others have walked before you, and many walk alongside you. Together, in spirit, you share the same path, a path of awakening, kindness, and peace. As you move forward, carry these lessons in your heart like precious treasures. Impermanence teaches you to let go. Suffering teaches you to understand. Non-self teaches you to be free. Mindfulness teaches you to be present. Compassion teaches you to love. Each lesson is a thread in the tapestry of your life. Weave them gently, with patience and care. If ever you feel lost, return to your breath. It is your constant companion. Inhale deeply, and as you exhale, let go of worry. Breathe in calm, breathe out tension. This simple act can bring you back to your true home, the present moment. Now, as we close this chapter, remember that the path does not end here. It is a lifelong journey. Every day offers new chances to practice, to learn, and to awaken. Thank you for walking with me. Thank you for opening your heart to these teachings. May your steps be steady, your mind peaceful, and your heart full of compassion. If you ever forget, come back to this place. Listen to these words again. Let them remind you of the great potential that lives within you. May you live with ease, with kindness, and with courage. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering. Namaste.